So I have seen clips of this prior to what we're going into right now. And I will say that one of the things that I really think that's going to stand out the most about this game to me is the fact that one, graphically it looks really cool. It looks I don't know what they did with this. It is kind of like seemingly a low poly game, but it seems a little more than that. But just the creation and what they've done with this game, it looks really freaking cool. It has a really cool concept to it. Okay, next game is called Rootbound. I love it so much. This is Rootbound, a physics-based action adventure about a plantling quest to save its home from a mysterious blight. Equipped with your sentient backpack, you venture into a broken world. Meet lost souls, solve ancient puzzles, fight dangerous monsters, and uncover the secrets of a long-forgotten civilization. So one big thing that I will say on a personal note is that I was in the process of trying to develop a game years ago. I mean, I think I've been in the process of trying to develop a game quite a few different times, but this specific game I was trying to develop years ago. And the character design that they have for this guy here it looks almost exactly like the character design that I had for my game that I was trying to develop at the time. It was like a sapling, like humanoid based character. So that whenever I saw this, I was like, holy crap, this is freaking crazy. This is wild. Oh, I have a lot of games on my wish list. Yes, I have a lot of games on my wish list. I love to know whenever these things are going to be coming out because I looked through a lot of games. That's the reason why I was just like, you know what? I need to start doing something with this. And that's why I was just like, let me just do this segment. It's going to be a really good idea, at least for me. All right, but let's jump into this. Oh, wait. It is a single player game. I do want to point that out. But let's jump into this trailer. See, there's just something about the graphics of this game that just, I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. Because it's definitely pixelated, sure. And sure, it's a 3D pixelation, but there's just, I don't know what it is. It's just something unique. I know that games have done this in the past. I want to say Tunic might be one of them. And maybe that's what makes me so... Because Tunic was a freaking fantastic game. From the creators of Gothic, Risen, and... Oh, shit. I don't think any of those games are similar to this. But I love how your backpack is in this game. Because you got to feed it. Look at the tongue. All right. Let's pop back over here. Look at some of the screenshots. Yeah, the combat, I would say the combat at this point, not crazy about it, but I'm sure they're just going to build on it and make it better moving forward. But there has been something about like inventory management lately that has really been playing like a big part in what, you know, attracts me to a lot of these games. But this is going to be a cool one. I think this is going to be really fun. Hopefully it goes the path of like something like, what is it? Moonlighter? I think it's called Moonlighter. That game where you're like a shopkeeper. You have to go into dungeons and grab stuff and then bring it back to your shop. I think that's what it's called. I could be wrong. But definitely going to be a good one. All right. So this next one is going to be very action-packed from what it seems. And I feel like the concept, I don't know if it's been done before. There's a possibility it has. And if it has, and if you have heard of a game that's somewhat similar to this, then do let me know. But I think it has a pretty unique concept to it, if I'm not mistaken. But this next game is called The Blind Warrior. The Blind Warrior is an indie single-player action adventure game with third-person gameplay. Play as Barda in 1860s West Java under Dutch colonial rule. Fight tyranny and uncover a conspiracy in the story-driven semi-open world inspired by the iconic Sailor comic. I'm not even going to attempt to say that name. But there's that comic book's name. Seems crazy. I've never heard of it myself. But again, from the title itself, there's a very interesting concept to this, which I would imagine that if there was a game that came out with it, or with the same exact concept, it would be maybe like Daredevil, Marvel's Daredevil. But I don't think they ever did anything like that. So this, as I said before, this seems like it's going to be a pretty unique styled game. It is single player. And yeah, let's jump into the trailer.
In the era of culture stuff,
This is alpha version, so don't be too critical on it.
one warrior will stand between war and his vengeance.
The blind part of it. There was this movie in the past that I loved that was about a blind fighter. But this is cool right here. This is the concept that really got me. And I'm just wondering how they're gonna expand on it, right? And you're just running around beating everybody with a freaking stick.
And rise to fight the oppressors.
All right, not a long trailer, but still solid. Again, like I said, the concept of where you have your sense that you have to use, I really want to see where they go with it and how they expand on it. Because I imagine being a blind fighter, you're not going to be able to just freaking sit here and start shooting people, right? I imagine they're going to give you limitations with that, but I think it's going to be really awesome because it could be something that, again, they could build on. And who knows, maybe they use, if this is done right, maybe they use this exact concept for something like Daredevil in the future. Because I know that cinematic side of Marvel has started to come out. Because if I'm not mistaken, Daredevil got re-released. Like they made all the TV show over again. So, that would be freaking sick. I would play a Daredevil game if it had something like this. Is this the one? Oh, okay. This one I'm actually kind of excited for. I know exactly what this one is. All right, so let's jump into the next one. This is Nivalis. Grow your business, manage restaurants and nightclubs, make friends and enemies, buy and decorate apartments, go fishing, and maybe even find love in Nivalis, a city that stretches from the ocean to the clouds. So I've seen bits and pieces of this, and if this is a game, I'm pretty sure this is a game I'm thinking about. So you run a restaurant, and there's a lot of kind of like choice matters in this game. But at the end of the day, just think cyberpunk with like some kind of like business management to it. It looks really cool, and it seems like there's going to be a lot more to it than what you see on the trailers themselves. But let's jump into it.
Hey there, get up. What do you hear when you wake up each morning?
Yeah, I always love being in this type of world.
There's a rhythm here.
I would hate if this ever happened in real life, which I probably wouldn't be alive for, but to be immersed in it in a game is really cool.
Nivalis stretches out in all visible directions.
And it looks like it's such an expansive place too. Like, look at how big these areas are.
This city can be a bewildering place, full of strange sights and even stranger people. Luckily for you, I'm here to help you find your feet. I took the liberty of scanning 14,682 publications related to the running of a successful hospitality business.
Damn.
And I can confirm
AI doing work.
you are performing above average. Good news.
Just build an empire in this baby. Oh,
Watch the sunset and listen to the fishermen's tales. One day, maybe you'll be able to tell your own stories. Sleep now. Rest.
if I'm not
When the
mistaken,
day
this is not
turns
going to be
night,
that
leave your
cozy
life
of a
behind.
game.
Neon feelings. Just another night.
But it definitely seems like a
Not sure
lot
how
that you're going to
long
be
I
able
can
to do
stay.
in this.
The spire is light years away. Come and find me where the night ends.
See, anything else? Okay, no. So we'll leave it here. So yeah, that was Nivalis. Release date says spring of 2025, which is kind of right around the corner. So I like the big thing that I will say with this one is I would love to know how outside of running a restaurant, how everything else works. Because again, like I said, I've seen little bits and pieces of this game. It does seem like there are a lot of things that are kind of like choices matter to you. If I'm not mistaken, like there's going to be an aspect of, maybe like loan sharks type things or like, gangs and things that you come across. So it does seem like outside of what the trailer shows you and what it is with like running a business, running a restaurant, there's going to be a lot more that you can do. And outside of just like fishing and maybe getting your own ingredients. But what I really do hope that they do with the game is I hope that like you start off with like a little humble, corner spot restaurant, and then you start to grow and you get like better location. Eventually, like maybe you like end up in a big tower and you're running like a bigger restaurant. Like that would be freaking sick. That would be so cool if that is the concept that they go with the game. But we will have to see. We will have to see whenever this game releases. This is definitely at the top of my list for a game that I would probably play off stream more than anything, but a game that would definitely suck up a lot of time for sure. I would probably dump a lot of hours into this game, but it is a single player game. And let's just hope. Let's hope that they run with it and they do some really crazy stuff. I've been seeing a lot of this game, and again, another game I'm very excited for, and another game I just remembered about. So we're gonna jump into the next one. This is Dead as Disco. Martial arts meets music video and Dead as Disco. A neon-drenched beat-em up where every punch, kick, and combo syncs to the music. Join Charlie Disco on a quest to confront the villainous idols and reunite the band. So, one of my absolute all-time favorite games and all-time favorite game series is No More Heroes. For anybody who's never played No More Heroes, it's a very I would say it's a very high pixelated fighter game that's super brutal, super gory. And just strikes that morbid curiosity. But it doesn't take itself seriously, which is what I love about some games. Like that, if you're a game where you have this really crazy, hardcore concept to you, but you have humor behind it, I'm sold. I fucking love that shit. It'll get me every time. So in No More Heroes, you're trying to climb up this list of bounty hunters, and you are obviously you start off at the bottom. Every bounty hunter has its unique background, its unique story behind it, and everything is crazy. It's like my all-time favorite anime till this day, absolute top, number one for me and will always be, is Trigun. I love Trigun. Vash the Stampede, one of my favorite anime characters of all time. So the concept of Trigun is very similar, or I wouldn't say it's too similar, but it's somewhat coincides with what No More Heroes kind of is. But that No More Heroes and this game is, to me, this is what kind of attracts me to this game. Because if they have the same humor, if they have all that same stuff, then I think this is going to be a really badass game. But let's jump into the trailer. Hopefully, because I know that the music is probably going to be some copyright stuff, but we'll see. The combat in this is wild, though. This is definitely way different than No More Heroes. It reminds me a lot of a Batman, like the Arkham series, because it seems like you really got to pay attention to a lot of the stuff that is that happening like around you. Ooh, that is brutal. Something about neon as well. I don't know what it is. I love colorful games. Beautiful.
I'm gonna make you wish you stayed dead.
Oh shit.
Let's rock.
Oh, looks so good. Looks so freaking awesome. Definitely cannot wait for that one to come out. All right, let's go back to this. No release date, unfortunately, but I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Let that baby simmer. If you can hit me with No More Heroes, like even relatively close to what No More Heroes is, at least to me, then I'm going to love this game. But it seems like the combat is going to be way more advanced than what No More Heroes does. You've only played through the first one. Oh, the first and the second one are amazing. I would say that the third one left me wanting a little more. But the first and the second No More Heroes, great games. Great. And games that you could probably go back to for sure and play now and still really enjoy them. I think that they released them on Steam, if I'm not mistaken. At least the first one. But that was Dead as Disco, a single-player game. It says it's split-screen co-op, so that's pretty interesting that they would have that. Maybe they have like mini games that you do. Because if you can play through the whole game with a friend, that would be pretty freaking wild. It is a beat 'em up, and a lot of beat 'em ups do tend to have like 1 to 4 players. So who knows? Who knows where they go with that? I guess we'll see more as it comes out. But again, that was Dead as Disco, no release date. I'm just excited. I'm excited for that one to come out. So, this next game is called Flock Off. Flock Off is a first-person action-adventure game for 1 to 4 players. Team up with friends to survive a strange and woolly uprising in a remote... Oh, I know it. Okay, I know exactly. That little piece, that's what... I know exactly where this game is going. Okay, I remember why. All right, team up with friends and survive a strange and woolly uprising in remote Scottish Highlands. Improvise with oddball weapons to fend off zombified sheep and uncover unexpected twists. Will you survive the sheep apocalypse? Or the sheep-ocalypse? Yes. So this is a game where you fight zombie sheep. And that is the main reason why I put that on this list. That is freaking hilarious to me. And to be able to do that with 1 to 4 players is just going to be even more fun. But let's jump into the trailer. Not a long trailer, but hopefully it shows enough. So I did say before, we definitely need more Left 4 Dead style games, horde games. I know Killing Floors 3 is coming out soon, but we need more games like this. I love horde games. They're just endless fun. But this one is really hilarious. You're just beating the shit out of some zombified sheep. It also says that there's more to expect, so I imagine that I can only imagine that this is going to be a game where there might be a story behind it, where you're actually going through chapters and everything like that, which again would just make it so much more fun. Because it says specifically uncover unexpected twists. This entire game series today or this week has really been focused around games with like their hidden secrets, which I'm starting to get a little annoyed about. But you know what? It just makes you want to play them a little more. So I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at them. So this is single, online co-op, and LAN co-op. And the release date is 2025, but one that I am definitely looking forward to. So this game has released. Actually, I might pick it up, to be honest, and play it on stream. This game has released, but it released 2 days ago. So not a new release, or well, I would say technically a new release, not an upcoming release game. But this one does intrigue me. I mean, just from the thumbnail alone, I feel like I'm pretty sold on this one. But it seems really cool. So let's show that. So this game is called Who's at the Door. You are trapped in a small house suffering from psychosis with no memory. Carefully observe your surroundings to distinguish reality from hallucinations and overcome your illness by taking medication from visitors at the right time. Taking medications from visitors? I don't think that that's a good idea at all. But let's jump into the trailer. Let's see. Okay, that's the trailer. Okay.
Next is a follow-up report on the previous incident. We continue to receive testimonies from victims who underwent illegal medical procedures at an unknown location.
We're getting that black sword. Dude, her alone, if I were to look through a peephole and I saw that would scare the shit out of me. It's really cool that you have to decipher what's real and what's fake in this, though. Open the door or take your pill. I mean, I imagine you're going to see a lot more different... Oh, yep, there it is. Look at these characters. Holy crap. Oh, shit. Not mean to do that. The character design is wild, honestly. But imagine just looking at your people and seeing this. It's crazy. All right, so this game has released, as I said. It released July 18th, so it released 2 days ago. It is currently just $5, which is pretty crazy. But it also probably means that it's not a very long game. So it is a single player. But I got it in my cart because I'm probably going to pick it up and I will more than likely stream it, more than likely next week. Because it seems like it's doing pretty good. So I'm super excited to give it a shot. All right, so this next game is called Eater.exe. EXE. What? I don't know. I swear I'm dyslexic. All right. Eater.exe. Trapped in a secret sleep experiment, you and your friends must survive terrifying nightmares, completing tasks to wake up before it's too late. Play solo or in co-op, but beware, the experiments are never the same. And something that watches from the dark. So the fact that this seems to be randomly generated is always awesome. Always awesome. It gives a lot of replayability to everything that you do. So this is a single player and online co-op. And let's jump into the trailer. There is not more than one trailer, right? Yep. I do love myself some solid cooperative horror games. I need to play a lot more of them. Oh my goodness. Oh, so I don't think they immediately kill you. It seems like they trap you instead. It's kind of like a, jeez. Oh no. Well, I'm sorry for anybody who has a fear of clowns, because I was not expecting that to be a thing. It's like an Among Us kind of thing with the tasks and stuff, it seems. if the monster's constantly following you, that would be kind of, you would have to have like one person like leading them around. So really Outlast Trials, right? Some Outlast Trials to that with all the little tasks you have to do, which is cool because I feel like Outlast Trials really did have like a bit of an innovation to a lot of these horror games, because I can't really think of a game that, and maybe there is because there's so many horror games out there, where they did what they did with Outlast Trials. Like all the like objectives that you have to do with like the big guy or the boss of the area always following you around and all that stuff. And I know that there are some big like fans of Outlast Trials that play it constantly. I've seen a lot of my friends actually like speedrunning the game at times, and I'm just like, holy crap, like this is crazy. So this definitely does have that vibe to it, and hopefully it sticks to it. But that is Dream Eater.exe. And as I said before, oh wait, I did not go over it. Release date is actually very soon. Comes out in 2 weeks. So if that is your interest, then please do look into it and pick it up. Let's see. Oh, so this one has released already. So this is one that has already released as well. But this recommendation comes from Bougie. This is Keylocker, turn-based cyberpunk action. In a silent world where music is outlawed, play as a singer to shatter the strings of faith and sing melody of freedom in this unforgiving turn-based rhythm RPG. Oh, a turn-based rhythm JRPG. Okay. I haven't played a turn-based rhythm in a while. So let's jump into the trailer. Wait, let's see which one of these. Come on, give me a hover. Oh, they don't have anything. All right, that's fine. We'll just jump into this one. Oh, damn. All right, combat seems pretty... Oh, it seems really complex. You know, I played a game like this way back in the day. It was on PlayStation 1, if I'm not mistaken. And I've yet to find a game that really gives me the same feel of it. This could be it. Damn, this is some really good pixel art, though. Oh, damn, they don't even just have really good pixel art. They have good art in general. Yet again, another game that has some really good character design. Oh, that's super cool. So you have like little mini games with some of your abilities, I imagine. Okay. I can see how this, I'm pretty sure like the combat will frustrate me, but I would love it. Oh, no way. A lot of little mini games. That's really cool. I do love game. I mean, obviously with like Expedition 33 being out and everything, I've been spoiled a lot with RPG games where if you don't have more to it than just like selecting your movement, then it starts to fall a little flat. I mean, there's been games that do it really well, but not all of them. I would say more often than not, I'm not a huge fan of it. But that looks really cool. So that was Keylocker. This has released September 18th of last year, and it is a single-player game. All right, so we're going to jump into the very last game.
Hey, listen!
All right, so this is Tomo Endless Blue. And looking forward to Moon Nana's next game. Okay. I've never heard of that developer, honestly. But I will definitely have to look into that Keylocker and see if it's any good and I like it, then by all means, they're going to be on my radar. All right, so this is Tomo Endless Blue. Tomo Endless Blue, a monster tamer ARPG set in a voxel open world. Set sail through the endless blue and an ocean realm home to a mysterious creature called Tomo. Team up to fight, build homes with friends, or craft wild vehicles to explore procedurally generated islands, villages, and tales. Wow. Procedurally generated islands, village, and tales. So not even just the islands and where you're going to be at, but also like what's happening. That to be procedurally generated is pretty wild. So this is a single player and online PvP and online co-op. Also has land and PvP and co-op. So let's jump into the trailer. That's crazy. To be procedurally generated, all that procedurally generated, I don't know. I feel like that's just wild. But as I said before, monster taming, creature capturing, those are games that I will always really adore. God damn, this is such a beautiful opening though. Oh, okay, I see. What the heck? All right, hold up. Oh, wow. So is it like a tactical type of combat? That's interesting. This could be a freaking TV show. Holy shit. Oh, what the heck? Yo, I was not expecting that. Holy crap. That is crazy. All right, hold on. There we go. You know, you said that there was that twist at the end of the trailer, but I completely forgot that you even said that. That was crazy. Oh, damn it. Oh, man. But yeah, that looks really awesome, honestly. It seems like it's a tactical-based combat system, but it doesn't show you too much of it. But the fact that you can use objects to help out with the fights, it's pretty wild. Honestly, I was not fully expecting that. And then, of course, you got base building. You have, it seems like so many things that you can do in this. So hold on, I'm going to pull this up because this intrigues me right here. So proxy, yes. As much as I'd love to believe that everything is procedurally generated, it makes me a little worried because the lack of depth. Yes. That's, again, when I read the fact that it was a procedurally generated world, village, all that stuff, I was just like, okay, I mean, that's fine. That makes sense. You do it all the time. Seemingly with what seems to be like a cubic styled game, you know, some Minecraft styled like base building and sandbox, that makes perfect sense. But when you're throwing in the tales to it, that is wild. Have that being procedurally generated, like the stories and stuff like that, that seems crazy. I want to see where they go with. I want to see them do it, and hopefully they do it well. And hopefully this is a game that does really good. But to your point, 100%. I see it. I am skeptical. I'm skeptical on how they're gonna do it. So for anybody who hasn't ever played Dragon Quest Builders, this really reminds me of that. Just adding like monster taming, creature capturing, whatever you want to call it. Adding that aspect to it. Now, Dragon Quest Builders 1 and 2, amazing games. Extremely fun. If you haven't played them, please do give it a shot. It's kind of hard to find them on Steam, I believe. I know you can find them in other places, but Very, very good games. So to me, again, that concept of like having that base building where you're going around, you're doing combat and all that stuff, it's been done for sure. You see it in that game, and they do a very solid job with it. But again, again, to the point of having procedurally generated storylines, which I imagine is what they mean by Tales. That's crazy to me. That's so wild to me. But again, I'm not gonna bash on it. I'm not gonna say that it can't be done. Strong possibility it can be done, but hopefully they just do it right, because like I said, Dragon Quest Builders is a freaking fun game. It is a very, very fun game. And I highly recommend that if you haven't played it and this game intrigues you, give Dragon Quest Builders a shot, because even the first one holds up. The second one is a lot better. And yeah, it'll give you the feel. So going into this game, you'll probably be like, okay, no, I'm probably going to really like it if you like those two games. But that is going to be the last game on the list for today. It's also moddable. Oh shit. You already know that people are going to be doing Pokemon mods. You already know that people are going to be doing Pokemon mods, which is going to be freaking hilarious. But that's really cool that they opened that up to getting all that stuff. We need a third builder. I absolutely 100% agree. We absolutely need a third builder, because Dragon Quest Builders, I sunk a lot of time into it here. I think I have at least one of them on my Steam. If not, then both of them. No, I do have one of them here. Yeah. This. If you have not played Dragon Quest Builders, definitely give this a shot. Like I said, this game is so fun. I sunk 67 hours, which doesn't seem like a lot, but honestly, it's a pretty solid amount of time. But this game is super fun. And like I said, that Tomo game does seem like it's going to have a huge chunk of what this gameplay is into it. Also legit dig out my capture card if the third one dropped. Oh yeah. Well, let's hope. This one came out in 2022. Let me see if the first one shows up here. Hold on. If the first one shows up here, I'm gonna see when it came out. Oh, that's not right. That is definitely not right. Did they remaster that? I don't think so. I think they just re-released it. All right, hold on. Let me see when the first Dragon Quest Builders came out. But there's a pretty good storyline to the Builder series. So I imagine for us to get the third one, it might be a little bit. No confirmation on the third one, unfortunately. But let me see when this one came out. So the first one came out in 2016. This second one came out in 2022. So if we're playing that game, then maybe we'll hear something within the next year. No, the next 3 years. It's probably going to be a little bit. So it seems like it took them 6 years in between. But I'm not mad about it. I'm sure they'll get around to it. It was a good game. That's all I will say.